Welcome to Soulful Conversations with Nadjejda. Hi, I'm Nadjejda Chapoteau. I am, I love to dance. As you could see, this was actually a song from a fellow Haitian. I am Haitian American. This was from a Haitian artist, Jay Perry. The title of the song is called Qui est. Aside from dance, I'm also passionate about social justice, nature. I love going to the beach. I love pretty much anywhere that's green, but there's something about water that I truly enjoy. I am passionate about spirituality, spiritual growth, spirituality in politics, and I'm very much passionate about empowering women and children in my homeland, Haiti, and also in other minority groups. And also, which is very much in line with my work as a coach. I am an empowerment and confidence coach, spiritual teacher, speaker, and author. I am I'm passionate about empowering women around the world and discovering who they really are, finding their voice, speaking their truth, and defining their core values and uncovering their mission and vision in order for them to impact the world and experience feeling confident, happy, fulfilled, and while making an impact in the world. So I'm all about ambitious and purpose driven women who want to make an impact, who know they are here for more. So I want to talk about something today that I'm hoping, that's my goal with this is for it to be a very short episode, but I know myself, sometimes I keep going, but this will be probably one of my shortest one, if not the only one. Well, so far. So I have to say, it does say Soulful Conversation with Nadjejda. I have done a few on my own, and I've chosen that, yes, I will keep bringing, for the most part, guests to join me. But I'm also really enjoying sharing really my authentic self. So it's not just going to be guests coming and talking to me. There are times where it's going to be me sharing my voice, my authentic voice, myself with you, coming from my heart. And I want to share something with you that I have, been really experiencing in my business and in my personal life. So, this year, 2018, has been a year of a lot of reflecting, a lot of, deepening my inner work, and just really looking to see what works for me, what doesn't work for me, and very much in some of the stuff I learned working with coaches, working with business mentors, in my own life as well. And I've also been doing the work at unpacking my own internal line racist, stuff that I picked up because, being in the, being, I guess, for me, like growing up in a place like Haiti, where I was privileged, I did not experience what many African Americans and other Black Americans or Black immigrants, Black people in the U.S. and many places around the world have experienced. So I've been doing a lot of that. So it's been a really year of really looking at a lot of stuff. And I think I'm not, if you notice, there's a collective shift that's happening, or consciousness is rising, but there's totally a shift. Like I shared the other day in a Facebook comment, and I've been sharing with friends, is that the tides are turning. And I think that's why a lot of us are being called to really dig and do our own work and really do our inner work and heal ourselves and release, be aware of the stuff that we have that is not serving our highest good, that is not serving our purpose, that is not serving humanity, and releasing them and committing to learning and doing better and being uncomfortable. So I'm not going to talk about social justice and stuff like that today. But it's just that wanted to share about. I will be talking about that pretty soon again. But I wanted to. So here's the thing. I have been feeling the need to share myself more. Like if you know me, if you're listening to this through Apple Podcasts and iTunes, or you're watching me on if you're familiar with me, you'll know that I do a lot of video, which is why I actually started this as a video podcast, because for me, I know my energy shines through video. Video is my thing, but I have to tell you, sometimes I'm like, damn, I wish I had done just audio, because I'm like, then I have to kind of fix myself up. Although for me, it's about being my authentic self, but I'm not going to show up in my PJs or whatever in a podcast. So that's just that's not what I do, as much as I love showing up as myself. So either way, so I would say I would often say I'm not much of a writer. I would tell my coach, I remember one of my business coach, I would tell her, yeah, I'm not much of a writer. And it would take me forever to like write a blog. I used to write before. I used to write a lot more before. If you go on my website, www.lovelightcoaching.com, lovelightcoaching.com. If you go on my website, if you click on the blog, you're going to notice that I was writing from I'm not sure if I think I started around 2013, maybe even 2014. And at some point it stopped. I don't write that much. I think the only full blog that I wrote was in 2018. 2018 was in January. And I have to tell you, it took me a while, because then I have to look at my grammatical errors and whatever. But here's the thing. I did get a blog post shared on the Huffington Post. I think that's about it in terms of outside of myself. Well, I did write, I was interviewed for something, and I submitted my questions. And I remember I guess the thing, I didn't write. She interviewed me and she wrote it. So either way, here's the thing. So, as my coach, I've often been told, you want to go ahead and write a guest blog post, submitted to My Embroidered Green or YFS or, Elephant Journal or whatever. And for me, I have to say, in Tiny Buddha, Tiny Buddha, I submitted twice. And at the time, she wasn't looking for these type of stories. She had too many of them. And so in some way, I kind of struggle with that. But I had been really feeling the need to really share myself. I really have been feeling the need to write. But for me, here's the thing. I hated the fact that when I had to write, I had to go by their guidelines. That I had to, Mind Body Green, you have to do boom, boom, boom. You have to do this, this, this. Or even Tiny Buddha, there is a form, there's a way, they have a format, they have these guidelines. And for me, I just feel very restricted. And I noticed that I was actually thinking about it. It's like the artist in me wants to be free, doesn't want the restrictions. And I decided that, you know what? When I started feeling like I'm being called to write, because, I often say, oh, I'm not much of a writer, I don't like to write. But then I realized, often I'll share myself on Facebook in writing, and it'll be a long post. The other night, I was writing a post, I was getting it ready, and I started on Instagram, and I was running out of space. So actually, I ended up not putting on an Instagram, although people do, and I've done that before, where you do these long posts and you continue in the comments. But I was I was always saying, but wait a minute, I write to my email list every week, and they're not short emails. I mean, some of them are longer than others, but a blog post doesn't have to be long. And another thing I struggle with is that I've often said that I'm very much about storytelling. I'm about storytelling. I inject, for me, I often say that people will get a lot more from me when I share myself, when I share my story, when I open up. And that's why one of the things that, when I'm working with women entrepreneurs on sharing their authentic self, I often say, speak your truth, share your story, like relate, because, that's one thing. And I often think back to the Obama campaign that I was a volunteer for. I was a team leader where, that's why they use stories, in '08. And I believe we did continue in 2012, is that people relate to stories, so either way. And then I was reading an article on somebody's article on Medium, and I said, and I wanted to like clap because Medium has this thing about clapping. And I said, you know what? And you can't clap unless you sign in. And I was like, you know what? Let me sign up because I do feel this need to write, And the other day, I actually saw somebody, and that's the thing. I think things happen in divine order because a few weeks ago, I signed up for it. I created an account on Medium, and I saw on a Facebook group that somebody was saying that she's using it to have a bigger exposure in her business. And she was saying that she's getting traction. And it got me thinking, I'm like, you know what? I do want to be able to impact more people's life. I do want to be able to grow my audience. I want to be able to impact, to share my story and to not feel restricted. And I was like, you know what? I need to get started on this Medium thing. So, because for me, I wanted to do it my way. I didn't want to deal with other people's guidelines. Okay. So the thing is that, so actually this week I wrote and I shared my first story on Medium. And I don't know, I can't say I'm going to be writing there every week, but I really decided that I wanted to do things my way, do things that feel good to me. Not, I want, like, for me, like, doing this cookie cutter thing is really, doesn't work for me because it doesn't allow me to experience the freedom to be me. It doesn't allow me to experience to really share myself because then it's like, and I know people have said, oh, just write it your way and then go and make, and it's like, no, I just want to be free. Like for me, and I'm not going to say that I'm never going to submit something to any other publication as well, but it's just that I'm just choosing to do what feels good to me and to do it my way. So that is one thing. So I wanted to share that with you. Like, for example, I remember for a long time, I struggled at some point when I wanted to work with, and I don't work with just women entrepreneurs right now, because that's another thing. I was working with somebody, she's great at everything, but in some way I was taught that I had to pick a niche and I had to focus on that thing only. And I had to, be the expert in that thing and just really focus on that thing. And then one of the things, like, niching did not resonate with me. It really did not. And, for me, for a long time, I struggled with saying I wanted to work with women entrepreneurs because I would only see like these tips, like boom, like 1, 2, like the way they are laid out. Yeah, it might be clear, but it's just that that's not how I write, which is actually why I ended up doing more videos, because I also know speaking is my thing, but I really was steering away from writing. So I decided to give myself the freedom. So I really am, I've been like exploring and really looking at, what, like right now, like I dropped the whole niche thing. I'm no longer with women entrepreneurs. It's all about, with everyone that I work with, I'm helping them discover who they really are. Because that's another thing. A lot of us women, we start businesses or we say we want to impact the world through speaking, sharing our stories, or through running for office, whatever it is. But we haven't really done the work to know who we really are. And because the thing is that what's gonna have people relate to us is our stories, is being our authentic self. So that's why for me, that's my mission. That's my thing. Like, I want women to feel empowered. I want women to feel confident and to feel great. And, I want you to embrace who you really are. I want you to be able to speak your truth. And the reason why for me, I often say that I have the confidence, even when I'm scared, to speak my truth, because I believe, like, I stand for something. I know what I stand for. I know what my core values are, and people are not clear on their mission and vision. So that's what I help women with. So that is the thing, is that we have to, like, one of my things is that I'm doing it my way. And so just to share with you, so by the time you watch this, it'll be a few days from now, but I was at Whole Paycheck, Whole Foods, actually today, but recording this, so that was a few days ago. I was there, and well, by the time you watch it, and I had this thing. So I wrote a cookbook I guess this is what it was. So basically, it's an ebook. It's on Amazon. It's called Love Like Recipes. I, I was going through some stuff, and I was like really, and one of the things that at the time, which is still very much, is just that I have to be honest, I've kind of slipped in that, in my clean eating. I've been, working, getting better at it and getting better at it. But, there was a time where I was really much in my clean eating journey. I was really, I'm still, and that's the thing, like that book really helps me get back to it, because I wrote something. So I wrote a book where it was basically what I did is I shared my clean eating journey. I shared tips on clean eating. I shared recipes and affirmations, and I shared some resources. And actually, I was even thinking, if I were to go back, there would be other resources that I could share. But either way, I have to say, at the time, I wasn't very savvy about a lot of the online stuff. I promoted my book, my ebook, but not so much. I was not very, being very authentic. I wasn't very like asking people to like leave me reviews. Like I did not really promote it a whole lot. So going back to my trip at Whole Foods, so I'm at Whole Foods, and I'm getting stuff, and then I walk by, and there's like these how they have the chips with they had two salsa stuff, and I tried, one was like a mango thing. I'm like, oh, it's not so bad. And then I tried, and then I saw there was this, they call it the bean salsa, black bean salsa, something like that. But the thing is that it was almost like the sauce, like the bean sauce in a way, but I could see the beans, and then then tomatoes too, I tasted it, and I said, oh my God, they need to try my own, and it got me thinking how here I have this ebook, because at the time I was calling myself a wellness coach. I was coaching women on gaining a spiritual practice, and basically a healthy lifestyle that works for them as well, that includes a spiritual practice and clean eating, because that's another thing. That's how I ended up creating my ebook, is because people were coming to me asking me for coaching around or recipes, and I'm like, and because I was sharing a lot of that on my thing. And that's another thing, they were saying that you're confusing your audience. I get that in a way, but at the same time too, I realized that, well, why can't we be multi-passionate? Because, as a wellness coach, yes, I've gone through the journey. I'm still in my journey, and I know how to coach people, because coaching is not even telling them what to do, And I don't have the story of like, I was this, I was big and I got smaller or anything, like, I don't have this journey, or I was trying to gain muscles. I don't have that journey, but I can still share with people, people who want to, because for me, this is my thing. It wasn't, and I often tell people that, if you want to lose weight, that's great, but it's really about loving who you are. It's really about choosing to eat clean, to eat healthy. And I often say it's moderation versus deprivation, So anyway, so I realized when I said, oh my God, they need to try my my bean salsa, because it's a recipe that I actually created out of the blue. Like I didn't even know that people were doing that. Like I remember one Thanksgiving, my sister and I, she came to visit me in DC. At the time I was living in DC. I'm currently in Miami. And we were hungry, and I wasn't ready for dinner yet. I hadn't made dinner. And I said, you know what? Let's see. And I said, because I've made salsa before with just tomatoes. So I said, you know what? I don't remember if that time I had chickpeas or something. And I said, you know what? let's do I'm gonna do chickpeas with the tomatoes, and I put the lemon and the the cayenne pepper and red onions, whatever. Anyway, and that thing came out so good. So I've been doing it either with chickpeas or black beans or red beans, and I've been like mixing it up. I remember like when I first came, I would like my friends, we had I would have them in my potlucks at home, take them to the beach, and stuff. So, and to this day, one of my girlfriends always says, "Oh my God, your black bean salsa." So it got me thinking how I have this ebook that I work my ass off, okay, doing it. I remember one of my girlfriends, at some point I was staying with her, and she would see me like spending the night, like really late, or, going through it, and really like I struggled through it. And the thing is that I have not really utilized it, because at some point I was told that if I didn't want to do, if I didn't want to be known as a wellness coach or whatever, it's sort of like I was told that I had to pick and choose. I couldn't do it. Like I couldn't. So again, like I said, I realized that I have this ebook that I could actually promote it again and do it the right way this time. Like promote it, more, be aggressively promoting it, because it can really make a difference for people. There are people who would benefit from it, So either way, and I realized that, yeah, I may not be right now doing it. And I was thinking, and you know what? And I said to myself, I'm an entrepreneur. Why not be able to serve like this and be able to be rewarded by not only making, by making an impact, and also by making some money from it, And also, I was even thinking about it. If somebody were to tell me that they want to work with me as their wellness coach, I would totally do it, because I would do it because I really want to be able to serve them that way. I wouldn't say, oh, I'm not, obviously if it's, if when we talk, we had that free consultation, it would be out of their, they're out of my league, or it's not something I, where they're at is not where, it's not something I could help them with. I wouldn't take it just to take it. But I was really basically I'm sharing all of this with you, which turns out to be much longer than I expected, but I'm sharing all of this with you is for you to think about in your own life. Because in your own business, if you have a business, in every area of your life, are you being true to you? Are you doing things your way? And that doesn't mean that we can't work with coaches and mentors and we can't listen to other people. But here's the thing. It's about listening to other people when we feel that we need to, and also looking to see if it's true to us. And again, I don't feel like, oh my God, I feel so bad because I did. No, because actually it's part of the journey. And this is why I can share this with you today. I can share this with you today because I've experienced it. I know I did what I was told to do, which didn't work for me. At some point, I realized that it wasn't working for me. And I realized also that as much as I talk about being my authentic self, in some way, I was restricting myself. Like, for example, I wasn't sharing myself to those who are more into reading because I was, and sometimes I may not be in the mood to do a video or something, because I was really, and now I get to write and share my story and and make an impact through Medium and also my website. But the reason why I'm sharing Medium is because they have a bigger and a wider audience than for me, where I'm at in my journey, in my business journey, where I'm at with my website. They have a bigger audience, and people are using it and they're getting traction from it, I hear, So wanted to share that with you is that, really do things your way. And I have to say, even with the social justice thing, with me unpacking my own racism, I've had to really listen to, if I'm coming from my Haitian, Haitian American, grew up in Haiti, privilege lens, when I'm listening to some of my sisters in the Haitian American, in the Haitian, in the American, Black American community, or those who grew up here, some of the stuff is uncomfortable for me, but I've had to sit through it and learn from it, and then take for me what's true. What is it that's true for me? What is it that I need? Yes. Oh, this truly, okay. Wow. I didn't see it like that, So I want to share that with you. And, I would love for you to, like, if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, leave me a review. I'd love to hear from you. Rate us, give us a 5-star review. I'd love to, I'm trying to get more traction here. Share it with friends if you find this helpful. If you're on my website, and those of you on Apple Podcasts, you could join me on my website, www.lovelikecoaching.com. You can join me there, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. For you, like, when you think about from one of the things that I shared, what do you feel that you need to do? What is it that you can do, and you can do it your way? Because when we restrict ourselves, when we don't really share all of our gifts, we're making less impact. We're not making the impact that we were born to make, and also we're doing, I know for myself, I was, there were times that I was doing things and I wasn't really experiencing a lot of freedom, and which really, it shapes your energy, and your energy really gives you the result that you get. So I'd love to hear from those of you on my website as well. I'd love to hear from you. Leave me a comment below the video. And if you're just landing on my website, or maybe you found me on Facebook and you're watching this, or any other of any other social platform that I use, or even on Apple Podcasts, and you don't want to miss this, you want to see the next episode, you want to be able to hear it, subscribe to my iTunes, Apple Podcasts podcast. If you're there, subscribe so every other Thursday. Well, I'm doing twice a month now. Twice a month on Thursdays, I release a new episode. And for those of you who want to, if you want to join my email list so you can get this delivered to your inbox, I share the link through iTunes and the link to my website with people on my email list, join my email list. Below the video, a little bit further down, you'll see the box where you can put in your email, your name. Once you do so, subscribe. Once you confirm your subscription, you'll be on my email list, so you'll get this. Then you'll get new episodes. In addition to that, once you confirm, you'll get my free gift, which is actually a new audio that I recently created, which is called 7 Questions to Reconnect with Yourself and Align with Your Mission and Vision. So this is an audio that I created, and these are questions that I've asked myself that will help you reconnect with yourself, help you gain some clarity around your mission and vision, and really get you to the place where you know what you stand for, what you value, so you can start sharing yourself. So you can start, because the way you find your voice is by using your voice, So you'll get that, which is my free gift. And in addition to that, every Tuesday, you'll get tips and inspiration from me, whether it's through a blog post, a video, or just a regular email. Like this week, my email list on Tuesday, they got my new story on Medium. So that's what I really had for you all today. I hope you found this helpful again, and I would love to hear from you. And until next time, love and light. I'm going back to Jay Perry. Again, thank you again, Jay Perry, for allowing me to share your music, allowing me to share our Haitian culture, which is so beautiful, which is often misunderstood, and people don't realize the beauty, the culture, all the magnificent stuff that we have. So thank you for allowing me to share it through your music, which is so good. Love and light to you all. Take care. Oh, I do want to share this thing. I realized, thank God I did not hang this up yet. I want to share that for those of you if you're actually curious, maybe you're in your clean eating journey, maybe you're struggling with it. Maybe you're thinking that's one of my things, is that I thought I had to become vegetarian to be healthy, but actually I was hurting myself when I was trying to do that. So, if you're, struggling and you would like to eat cleaner, if you're looking for healthy recipes, most of them are vegan, vegetarian recipes. I probably have maybe like 3 or 4 animal protein recipes with meat. I think there's probably like 1 meat and 2 fish or something, I don't recall. I think there's probably like 2, no more than 3 or 4 of them or something. On my website, so you'll need to visit my website, www.lovelightcoaching.com. I'll put the link. There's a headline that says Love Light Coaching. You'll see it if you go to the episode. The name Love Light Recipes will be there, highlighted in red. It will be there well, it won't be highlighted, but it'll be in red. So if you want to check out my ebook, go ahead and check it out. And I would love to hear, if you choose to get it, I would love to leave me a review. Let me know what you thought about it. So just wanted to plug that in, because I figured, you know what, since I'm sharing about the ebook and I'm committing to putting it back out there, somebody could benefit from it. Somebody listening to this could benefit from it. So just wanted to share that. So I am going to go for real now. Okay. Bye. Love and light.